Come back. Today we will do a new chapter, that is ratio and proportion. Today we will discuss, in this video I will be discussing some short tricks on ratio and proportion. So before going to the problems and the short tricks, let me see some basic definition of ratio and proportion. Okay. So what do you mean by ratio? Ratio is a relation between two or more elements of same kind. Okay, that is, if I say A is to B, A is one person and B is one person, and if I compare their weights, okay, if I say 7 is to 8, then it means that if 7 parts is the weight of A, then 8 parts is the weight of B. Okay, so weights of A is to B is 7 is to 8. Now, ratio is not constant, ratio is variable. That is, if I say weights of A is 14, then B will be 16. That is, it is multiplying with 2. If the A is changing, then B also has to change with the same amount. Okay, then if I say it is 21 is to 24, then this is into 3 and this is into 3. Okay, so this shows that ratio is varying. Okay, ratio is varying every time, but the value will remain the same. If I cancel here with 2, it is again 7 is to 8, and if I cancel here with 3, it is again 7 is to 8. Okay, the value will be same, but it can be variable. So that is, ratio is variable. Okay, then one more thing regarding ratio is always between the same kind. Okay, now for example, if I say A is to B, okay, then the weight of A is to B is 7 is to 8. Then age, I say it is A is to B is 3 is to 4. Then height, if I compare of A is to B, if I say it is 5 is to 6. That means A's weight and B's weight itself is compared. A's age and B's age itself is compared. Okay, that means same kind. Weight means weight only of A and B. Age means age only of A and B. Height means height only of A and B. Okay, it cannot be height of A and weight of B, or weight of A and age of B. Okay, so we say that ratio of same kind. Okay, ratio is always of same kind. Okay, so this is about ratio. Now let us see what is proportion. Okay, one more thing, ratio can not necessary that ratio is always between two elements. It can be between more than two elements also. Now for example, A is to B is to C is to D. Okay, any number it can be. But if I am comparing all the 4 persons, it should be of same kind. That is, if I say weight, then it should be weight only of all the 4. If I say age, it should be age only of all the 4. Okay, so this means that ratio is a relation between two or more elements of same kind. Okay, of same kind. Now next, let us see what is proportion. When two ratios are equal, for example, if A is to B and there is C is to D, okay, if both these ratios are equal, then we say that A is to B is in proportion with C is to D. This is the symbol of proportion. Okay. A is to B is equal to, if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then we say A is to B is in proportion with C is to D. Okay. So, proportion is nothing but when two ratios are equal, we say that they are in proportion with each other. Okay. So, in this topic, I will be discussing ratio and proportion problems in 4 parts. First part will be basic types. In this we will discuss some basic questions and how to approach them in a simple ways. Okay, short tricks. Okay. Then second part is regarding uniform ratios. We will see what are uniform ratios and problems regarding uniform ratios. Third part is balancing of ratio. Balancing of ratios. In this we will see how to balance the ratios and how to use those balanced ratios to solve the problems. Okay, the lengthy traditional problems can be solved within few seconds by balancing the ratios. Then the fourth part is some mixture based problems. Mixture based problems. In this we will see some mixture problems and how to approach them using ratio and proportion method. So, these are the 4 parts in which I have divided the ratio and proportion problems, and we will see the short tricks on how to solve them. Okay. Now, going to the first part and solving with the first problem. The first problem says that if rupees 1500 is divided into 3 parts in proportion to 1:2, this should be is to 1/2 is to 1/3 is to 1/5. Okay, then respectively each proportion will get, each ratio will get how much amount. Now, we know that this rupees 15,500 is divided in the ratio 1/2 is to 1/3 is to 1/5. Now, this is a fraction. So, from fraction we have to convert it into a whole number. So, if we convert it into whole number, it will be easy for the amount to be divided. So, how to convert this fraction into whole number? First, take the LCM. So, LCM of 2, 3 and 5 is 30. Okay. So, it is 2 15s are, 3 10s are and 5 6s are. So, it is 15 is to 10 is to 6. So, this fraction is converted into the ratio form as 15 is to 10 is to 6. So, the money is now divided in the ratio 15 is to 10 is to 6. So, this will be easy for us to solve the problem. Now, 15 plus 10 plus 6 is 31. Okay, in ratio if we add, it is 31 parts. So, in money, total money is how much? Total rupees is 15,500. Okay. So, total ratio is 31. So, I can directly say that total ratio is equal to total amount. This amount itself is divided into this ratio. Okay, this is the total ratio and that total amount is divided into this ratios. Okay. So, if 31 parts is 15,500, then 15 parts is how much? This 15 parts is how much? Similarly, if 31 parts is 15,500, then 10 parts is how much? So, this I can write it as 15 by 31. Okay, 15 by 31. 15 by 31 into 15,500 is to 10 by 31 into 15,500 is to 6 by 31 into 15,500. So, it is 31 ones are 31, 5s are and 0 0, 1s are 5s are ones are 5s are. So it is 15 into 5 is 75 and 2 zeros. Then 10 5s are 50 and 2 zeros. 6 5s are 30 and 2 zeros. Okay. So the amount is divided in the ratio 7500 is to 5000 is to 3000. Okay. Now going to the next problem. The ratio of expenses and saving of a person is 26 is to 3. So what they are saying, the ratio of expenses to savings they have given. So it is 26 is to 3. Okay. So we know that income is expenditure plus savings will give us total income. Okay. So now we know expenditure and saving ratio. So income will be what? The addition of these both, isn't it? So 26 plus 3 will get income ratio, income part, that is 29. Okay, if 29 parts is the income, 26 parts is the expense and 3 parts is the savings. Now we know that monthly income of a person is 14,500. So monthly income is 14,500 and income in ratio is 29. So I can directly equate 29 is to 14,500. Then what is savings they are asking? Savings is how much? 3 parts. So 3 parts is how much? Okay. If 29 parts is 14,500, then 3 parts is how much? So 3 by 29 into 14,500. Okay. This is the method what I use. Okay. Don't cross multiply like this. What I take is the down number divided by the top number into this number. Okay. So 3 by 29 into 14,500. So 29 ones are 29, 5s are and 00. So 3 5s are 15 and 00. So savings is how much? 1500. Okay. If they had asked expenditure was how much, then what we had to do? So 26 divided by 29 into 14,500 would give us expenditure. Okay. But they have asked us savings. So savings is how much? It is 1500. Okay. In just one simple step, we can solve the problem. Next, going to the next problem. The monthly income of A and B is 6,000 and 8,000 rupees respectively. If their expenses are 70% and 80% respectively, find the ratio of savings of both. Okay. So we know they are asking us A is to B's saving ratio is how much. Okay. So now we know income is how much? 6,000 of A and B's is 8,000. And expenditure of A is how much? 70% and B is 80%. Now we know that income minus expenditure will give us savings. So income, if income was 100%, then for A, expenditure is how much? 70%. So 100 minus 70 will be 30% will be his saving. Similarly for B, if income was 100%, then 80% is his expenditure, then saving will be how much? 20%. Okay. So saving is equal to savings. How we calculate savings? From the total income, isn't it? So so A is saving 30%. 30% of what? 30% of total income. So total income is 6,000. So 30% of this total income. So 6,000 into 30 by 100 is to B's is how much? 20%. So his income is 8,000. So 20% of 8,000 he is saving. Okay. So 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. Then directly I can cancel these two zeros here and these two zeros here. Then 2 1s are 2 3s are 6. Okay. Anything else can be cancelled? No. So 3 3s are 9 is to 8. So the savings ratio of A is to B is how much? 9 is to 8. Okay. This is the way how we can easily solve the problem. Now going to the next problem. a money is divided into A, B, C in the ratio 3:5:7. Okay, A is to B is to C is how much? A money is divided in the ratio 3:5:7. If C's share is 1600 more than A's share, what they are saying? C's share is 1600 more than A's share. Then what is B's share they are asking? Okay, data what is given? C's share is 1600 more than A. Now this is the ratio among which it is divided. Now in ratio A and C, okay, because here they are saying C and A, isn't it? C is 1600 more than A, 1600 more than A, isn't it? Then in ratio, when we compare A and C, it is 4, 3 minus 7 is 4, that means C is 4 parts more than A, and in amount C is 1600 more than A, isn't it? So directly I can say 4 parts is 1600. Then they are asking B share. B share is how many parts? 5 parts. So 5 parts is how much? Okay. So it is 5 by 4 into 1600. So 4 ones are 4 fours are 00. So 5 fours are 20 and 00. So B share is how much? 2000 rupees. Okay. So this is the way how to approach the problems and solve it simple way. Thank you. We will continue in the next video.